Well, it's been a Game 7 classic. Who wins it? Will it be Olay or au revoir for the Montreal Canadiens with Carolina waiting? Benson out along with Norris and Thompson. Slafkovsky, Suzuki, and Caulfield. Suzuki unable to handle that pass. Benson comes back in, tried to drop it. Lost there, and the first shot stopped by Dobish as Benson gets an early look. Remarkably, in the glorious history of the Montreal Canadiens, they've never won a Game 7 overtime on the road. Demidov's come on, able to poke that back to Hudson. And here's Demidov with a shot, and he missed the target. Dobson moves up, it's played past him. Hudson gets back in a hurry. Out at center, Samuelson drops it back in. McLeod on the forecheck as it's played to Noah Dobson. A pretty good spot for his first ever Stanley Cup playoff goal. Newhook along the boards. Alex Tuch looking to get on the board for the first time in this series. Back to Byram. That bounces up ahead. A swing and a miss by Evans, but now he'll drop it back in. Canadiens 2-2 in overtime. Buffalo 0-1. Helenius is in. Here's Quinn along the boards, and he's knocked down. Suzuki around. Suzuki double duty here as he centers Bolduc and Doc on the fourth line. Carrier ahead. Gouli sends it into Buffalo territory. Off the boards and back out. Jason Zucker with Quinn. And now Krebs has come on. And play called at the Buffalo line in the first 2:08. Shot attempts are 80-50 in the game in favor of Buffalo. Canadiens had a 2-goal lead, and the Sabres have erased it. And now into last shot wins. Anderson tied up along the boards. Denowian looking to pry it out and does. Gets it back to Mike Matheson on his backhand. Digging in. Tried to center it, and that was scooped up by Timmins. And flipped away by Greenway. Malenstein got a stick on it and now gets to the bench. Fourth line off for Buffalo. Noah Dobson back in for Montreal. That took a funny hop in front. There's a stanchion bounce.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't that have been something? Knocked off the stick of Benson. Thompson overskates it.
It's one of the rare times that fourth line for Buffalo hasn't gone up against the Suzuki line. They've given the Suzuki line all kinds of trouble. Now it's Thompson and Norris. See if that makes a difference.
Caulfield ties up his man along the boards. It comes to Gouli. Back to Caulfield, who came out with a little bit of a swagger for overtime. Slafkovsky along the boards. He lost it. Away goes Benson. Benson for Norris, stumbling. And Gouli there to try and take over. Lane Hudson's got an overtime goal.
Hey, look at that battle for Gouli. It's like it's the most important battle you ever have. Every opportunity, you just got to try to do whatever you can.
Might be.
It might be your last one, so it's evident, isn't it?
Off Evans, sticking in. Alex Newhook after it. Does he have one more goal in this series? He leads with 5. Across for Carrier. Carrier shooting, and it's tipped wide of the net. Evans throws it in front. A broken stick. And so Tuch without a stick. See if Matheson can take advantage. Tuch trying to stay with him. Stumbles over the stick, and it's blocked and comes out to center. Matheson right back in. Following up Evans. Here is Newhook sending it wide. Jack Quinn is on it. Trying to send away Josh Doan, and icing called. And the linesmen in the stands disagree. First goal in regulation time has come in each game, at least under 6.5 minutes in. Do we get that far in overtime?
We might be here a while. Is that what you're saying?
Wondering if we get another quick strike. Quinn checked by Hudson. Gave it away. Helenius. He held up thinking it might be offside, but it isn't. Back to the line. Connor Timmins, and Dobish makes the stop, and it hits the mesh up behind the Montreal net. Norris and Deneau dueling, a clean Montreal win, and it's flipped out to center. Can they spring Josh Anderson a third time in this game? Back in comes Norris. Crisscrossing here with Thompson. Breaks his stick. He's got to head to the bench. Gives Carrier some room. Thompson with a quick retrieval, but it's Josh Anderson sending it just wide. Back for Anderson, and along the boards, Texier. Takes a bump, but stays with it. Anderson again, and that went off the knob of the stick, I think, of Luukkonen. Here's Dobson. Throwing that toward the net and played into the corner off Luukkonen. Texier reloads. Matheson again. Deneau goes off. Norris, a big pass. Thompson's got a break with Benson. Tage Thompson for the win. And he couldn't get it past Dobish, who's down without a stick. It'll come back to Connor Timmins. And that deflects out. The 271s, McLeod and Evans duel. And McLeod on the puck. There's Tuck, comes out in front. Tapped by Dobish to Hudson, who flips it away. Connor Timmins strides back. Not enough for icing. Alex Tuck to work again. Galloping through center. Tried to pass it across, and nobody there. Picked up now by McLeod. Taken away by Suzuki. Gloved down by Doan. Dooley's got a little room. Rasmus Dahlin. Back ahead, Zucker. McLeod sends that, blocked by Gooley. Dahlin follows. Dahlin shot blocked. And all the way back into the Sabre zone. Luukkonen sends that around. Caulfield trying to hop on it. Byram and Dahlin playing together. They're in the skates of Helenius, and following up, it's knocked away from Quinn. And played back to the Buffalo line. Shots are 35-24 Sabres. Flipped in by Quinn. Dobson around for Matheson. And deflected out by Caulfield. And not enough for icing. Enough for a Montreal change. Helenius drops it in, goes to the bench. As Buffalo sends out fresh skaters. Slafkovsky tied up. Malenstein on the ice as Dobish plays it around for Carrier. That fourth line for Buffalo. Back on the ice as it rolls towards Luukkonen. Up at center for Greenway. Carrier stepped up on him. Here's Evans working in. Jake Evans off a skate for Bolduc. So Evans gets a double shift here with Bolduc and Doc. As they've been playing pretty well 11 forwards now for the last two periods.
Yeah, if you lose.
Off the draw, control for Buffalo. Russ Courtnall, Claude Lemieux, Yvon Lambert have scored Game 7 overtime.
Are watching.
Face-off win. Hudson with the puck. Lane Hudson trying to shake the checking of Krebs. Sends it off the inboards, Anderson. Texier. Texier along the boards. Timmins takes it away. Plays it for Samuelson. So that's a pairing adjustment by Lindy Ruff.
There are two there, a minute 30.
Hudson was in deep. Now Anderson centers off Timmins in front. And he'll knock it away. Is that going to be icing? It's rolling, and they're going to wave it. Hudson tried his best to look like he was in quicksand. There's Slafkovsky, and overtime hero already in the playoffs, firing that on goal. And now Three Sabres break out. With speed, it's Norris. Josh Norris hands it off. Thompson, that hit escape. Now the Canadians will try and turn it. Caulfield's at center. He'll just play it down, and that starts a Montreal change. Rink wide for Benson. Benson in against Carrier. Cut to the middle. And Carrier able to recover. Off the boards and out. Down that left flank, here is Demidov again. Is he the game breaker tonight? Dobson moves up. Behind the net, it's Newhook. Watched by Dahlin. Free for Evans. Anybody home in front? Demidov, and that hit escaped and ends up in the corner. Alex Tuch sends it to center. Glove down, brought right back in by Dobson. Pocket picked. And now sent ahead. Doan tried to get loose, and Dobish will spin that into the corner. Doan there again, but Matheson's there as well. Turns away from Doan. Doan still hounding him as it comes to center. Texier trying to get it to Evans. Owen Power. Here come the Sabres again. It's Helenius setting it high. Around it goes and it comes out. Texier let it go, and that's going to be icing. And so Montreal will not be able to change.
The only break for Texier there.
And off the draw, Buffalo controls. Dahlin shooting, vacuumed up. So now Jake Evans comes on to take the face-off. Norris stays out. And off this, a winger win for Thompson. Into the corner it goes. Matheson battles. And now a shot on, and Dobish has that. Shot attempts by Tage Thompson in the game. And that breakaway chance in overtime. That came close to the line, and now Montreal's going to work it out. Carrier ahead. Over the line comes Newhook. Shooting. Scores! Alex Newhook! Olé! 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 And Montreal is going to play Carolina in the Eastern Conference Final.
Playoffs are all about writing amazing stories, and Alex Newhook's been there before. He's won it. Do you see the frustration of Luukkonen? But what a playoff series. 7th goal, and just a turnover at the offensive line. A smart play here by Carrier, and they said never a bad thing. Shoot the puck through the traffic, through the legs of Dahlin, and Luukkonen can't get a hold of it. Underneath the glove, over the pad. Best sound in the world as it hits the post and goes in. And in back-to-back game sevens, it's Alex Newhook with the game-winning goal. What a story.
Game 7 in Tampa, regulation time. He does one better tonight in overtime. Game 7, round 2.